If you're still living paycheck to paycheck, it's not just because prices have gone up. It's because the system you're operating in was built for someone else's benefit. And you're not lazy, you're not irresponsible. You're simply trying to play a rigged game with rules that no longer apply. They tell you to save more, cut back, be smart. But no matter how carefully you track your expenses, your money seems to vanish. And the harder you try to get ahead, the more it feels like you're falling behind. That's not a glitch. That's design. This is what the end of a financial cycle looks like. Apps now let people finance groceries for installments, and millions are doing it. We're not talking about luxury items. We're talking about a $30 food order being paid off over time. When basic necessities require a payment plan, you're not in a functioning economy. You're in the last phase of a system that no longer works. While most people are still trying to make sense of it, the wealthy already made their move. They stopped relying on this system years ago. Now they operate outside of it entirely. That shift doesn't happen overnight, but once you see it, you can't unsee it. If you're tired of advice that was written for a world that doesn't exist anymore, consider subscribing. We're not here to sell you hope. We're here to build something better. Let's take a closer look at how this system works. You earn income. You're taxed before you ever touch it. Then you pay rent, loans, food, transportation. What's left goes to savings, if there's anything left at all. But the value of your savings shrinks over time. The cost of living rises faster than your paycheck. Most people keep cash in savings accounts that earn a few percent, but inflation quietly cancels it out. Meanwhile, stable coins like USDC or DAI can earn 5 to 10% on chain, often with less friction and more flexibility. That's not chasing gains. That's avoiding slow loss. Even with these options available, most people don't use them, not because they don't care, but because they were never taught how to think this way, so they default to old advice. Save what you can, ride out the markets, and trust that eventually it will all pay off. But what actually happens? Their money loses value, their options shrink, and any stability you once had slowly disappears. You're told to invest for the long term, but most of your funds are locked away. You're told to build credit, but you get penalized for using it. You're told to stay patient, but the system was never built to reward patience. It was built to reward ownership. So let's talk about ownership. Ownership means converting earned income into productive assets. That could be consistently buying index funds like VTI or owning rental property in cash flowing markets. It could also mean DCAing into ETH and staking it long-term for rewards. The details differ, but the principle is the same. Your money needs to work harder than you can. This is what wealthy people focus on. Not wages, but durable upside. The wealthy don't think in income. They think in assets, they think in exposure, they think in time. They don't panic when markets shift. They reposition. They've built systems that benefit from movement, from volatility, from scale. That's how they create space, not just financially, but mentally. Because once you're no longer reacting to every price change, you begin to think ahead. That's when opportunity starts to compound. The tools are available now. Decentralized protocols, assets that run 24/7, systems that don't require approval, strategies that don't require middlemen. This is where wealth is being built in the open. It's not always loud. Some of the most effective strategies don't look exciting. It might be using a Roth IRA to buy ETFs and let them grow tax-free. It might be contributing monthly to a taxable brokerage account, holding dividend-paying stocks, or it could be capturing airdrops from early crypto protocols or staking tokens for yield. Different vehicles, same mindset. Build before the spotlight. You don't need millions to start, and you don't need permission to start participating. Still, none of this matters unless you change how you think. If you keep seeing yourself as someone trying to make ends meet, you'll keep building systems for survival, not for growth. If you see money only as something to spend or save, you'll miss the entire point. Wealth isn't what you earn, it's what you keep and what you own. A simple structure most don't use is the 3-bucket model. 1 bucket for safety, that's your emergency fund or stables, earning low risk yield. one for long-term growth like broad market ETFs or ETH and cold storage, and one for upside like startup investing, sector-specific funds, or small crypto positions. Each plays a role. Together they compound. That's what ownership really means. You don't have to be an expert, but you do have to stop waiting for the next raise, waiting for prices to drop, waiting for the system to fix itself, because it won't. The economy is not a moral system. It doesn't reward effort. It rewards positioning. Positioning means acting before others react. In traditional markets, that might mean keeping enough cash on hand and waiting for the opportunity to buy strategically when everyone else is selling. In crypto, it might mean accumulating during a downturn instead of chasing the top. That's not luck. That's a different level of preparation. Stop waiting for signals. Start preparing for movement. Start thinking like someone who builds, someone who deploys, someone who owns. That's where everything changes. In the next video, I'll show you how they think about capital, risk, and opportunity differently than everyone else. It's not about copying them. It's about learning how they structure their moves and how you can apply that logic to your own portfolio. Watch that next. It's how you stop reacting and start playing the real games.